Working for free is a subject that I have seen come up quite a lot on YouTube, on lots of different forums, and I've personally been asked this as a composer, should I work for free? I thought I'd make this video to kind of share my thoughts on the subject. There might be some overlap with a lot of other creators that I know, but hopefully you find it interesting, useful, and maybe help you to form your own personal opinion about what it means to work for free. So the first question I would ask somebody who wants to do something for free is, why do you want to do it for free? And there's a number of answers that typically come up. One of the big ones is the experience. Now, experience, I think, can be a very valid reason to do something for free. If you're relatively inexperienced in a field, you want to gain more experience, and it's highly competitive, maybe in some instances, you'd be willing to trade off the financial aspect in exchange for the experiential aspect. We'll get into that a little bit later. Another common answer is, I really want to do this project. You're super passionate about something. You think that doing it for free will give you an advantage against people who are charging money, which isn't necessarily true. Again, we'll chat about that. Another common reason that comes up is, well, the client doesn't have any budget, or they have a very low budget. And so then I would follow up by asking one of those first two questions. Do you want the experience, and are you passionate about it? If the answer is, of course, no, then you shouldn't take that gig. But again, if you feel like the experience is there and you're really excited about that project, maybe that's a point of discussion you could have. And the fourth reason doesn't actually come up too much in these discussions, but the idea of charity. If you are really passionate about something and you feel like it's for a good cause, then absolutely, yeah, you can do something for free. So again, to recap, we talked about doing it for experience, doing it for passion, doing it to support someone who needs it, maybe a friend, and doing it for charity. Those are four very valid reasons to do something for free. But we now need to talk about what it means to do something for free. People often misassociate the idea of doing something for free for doing something for nothing, and those are not the same thing. When we're talking about doing something for free, we're strictly speaking in terms of money, doing something for no money. What we're not saying is that we're gonna do something for no value. Now, of course, value can come in many different forms, and some of those forms do include helping someone, charity work, personal fulfillment, experience, passion. But my follow-up question would then be, if you were being paid for the work that you're considering doing for free, would you not get those extra additions? In other words, it didn't really matter if you were paid or not for the gig, you'd still be getting the experience and the passion, assuming that you had the gig in the first place. So for me personally, I'd be a little bit cautious about assuming that experience or passion is the single sole reason to justify taking something for free. Oftentimes, if you discuss the idea of value with a person you're working with or want to work with, they will come back at you and offer you some value. Let's say you film videos and a band comes up and asks you to make a music video for them for free. You love this band, you've heard of this band before, you'd love to work with them no matter what, you're willing to do it for free. Ask yourself, what can that band or the collaborator offer me in return for my services? In that situation, there's a lot of things they could offer. They could offer you a free signed album. They could offer you show tickets. They could plug you on their website. They could make you a song. And in the same way, the people that we collaborate with as composers can offer us things. If you're working with an animator, maybe they can offer you a graphic design or some kind of logo. If you're working with a filmmaker, maybe they can shoot you a video, a cool behind the scenes of your soundtrack. And along with these kind of tangible values, there's also the intangible values, like your time. You should be valued for your time. So if you're taking something for free, you should put some limitations on how many revisions you can do so that you're protected. Wherever possible, you should be retaining the rights to your music so that you can resell it and hopefully recoup on the investment of your time. All of that goes to say doing something for free is not doing something for nothing. You have to make sure that there's an equal exchange of values, or at least close to it. And the last thing I want to briefly touch on is what we skimmed over before, talking about somebody having no budget and that you think it'll give you an advantage or a leg up. I remember I was reading this book called The Power of Influence. It's a great book. And it was telling the story about a woman, a true story, who was trying to sell her jewelry in a store. She was having a lot of trouble selling it. No matter what she did, she just couldn't get it to go. She was putting these discounts up, and she had a trip planned. So the day before her trip, she just hastily kind of wrote down very quickly to her assistant, tell everyone marked half off. So after the weekend, she comes back from her trip, and she finds that all of her jewelry had sold. But the weird thing was she looked at the sign, and the assistant had misinterpreted what she wrote. And instead of writing half, she'd written double. So what does that mean? Do people value something when it costs more or when it costs less? Now, what I'm not saying is when somebody needs help and they have a low budget that you double your prices on them. What I am saying is that don't assume that you lowering your prices makes you more valuable than somebody else. Value works in funny ways like that. And what I can say is the more that you value yourself, the more you communicate your need to be compensated, maybe not financially, but in terms of your time, the more you'll be respected and the more willing people will be to compensate you for your time. So in conclusion, should you work for free? Sometimes. Should you work for nothing? Never. That's all for now. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe for more, and be sure to leave me a comment telling me what you enjoyed in this video or what you'd like to hear about next.